is a republic and what is a democracy? And what is the difference? A republic versus a democracy. What's the difference? A lot of people don't know that there is a difference. Some people think a republic and democracy are the exact same thing. They're not. There is a world of difference. So what is the difference between a republic and a democracy? Well, in a republic, there is a rule of law. That is to say, in a republic, laws govern. There is a law that says you can't do this and you can't do that. If you break that law, then there is a law that says for breaking this law, you must pay this fine, or you must have this happen to you. There are some laws that it's a penalty of death. So there are laws that govern all aspects of a person's life. And under a republic, there is actually a lot of freedom. In the Bible, there's the law of God, the 10 Commandments everyone knows about. And there are some other laws that had to take place, but those laws, they were relatively a lot of freedom under the laws of the Old Testament. So you've got a republic, it's a rule of law, it's when laws govern. What is a democracy? Well, democracy is a lot different because in a democracy, people determine the law. And people vote to change the law, and usually it's based upon their opinions or their emotions. And really, when you get down to it, what democracy is mob rule. All people have to do is have their feelings swayed a certain way in order to vote a certain way. And every time that happens, something bad always happens to someone else. Because in a democracy, one group gets power and doesn't like the other group. So quite often in democracy, this group votes to kill that group. And democracies lead to genocide. Democracies lead to murder, to death, to class warfare, to different groups. Years ago, Plato, in about 300 years before the Lord Jesus Christ, 427 to 347 BC, it says on this book, Plato wrote a book called Plato's Republic. If you've never read this book, you need to read it. Because Plato talks about the system of government, and it's called Plato's Republic. And he talks about how great the Republic is, but then he talks about how a republic usually degenerates into a democracy. And Plato says that as soon as it becomes a democracy, it is one step away from, this is the word he used, tyranny. Because in a democracy, people are always voting and always scared and always fearful and say, oh, we got to vote for this. They tell us that this is going to happen, so we've got to allow special rights for this group, and we've got to allow special, and it's mob rule. And one person emerges as the head of the mob that says, follow me and do what I tell you to do. In Plato's Republic, Plato says that this has been the history of the world over and over. A form of government starts as a republic. The republic degenerates into democracy, in which certain people take over and rule the mob. And from that ruling mob emerges a tyrant who takes over. And according to Plato in his Republic, usually he becomes so evil and so wicked and so intolerant that the people are just slaughtered and killed and can't take him. And a civil war emerges and the people fight against the tyrant. And then they start a new form of government, which is always a republic. And that cycle happens over and over and over and over again throughout history. Sadly, we're starting to see that in our country today. America was founded as a republic. The Republic of the United States of America, founded on the Constitution, the rule of law. Well, now we've seen people are turning against the Constitution, trying to pass laws based upon what people think. Patriot Act, different kind of laws that say, oh, the Constitution's great and all, but there's just certain cases in which we can go against the Constitution, and it's turned into democracy, and look what it is. It's one step away from an outright tyranny, in which a tyrant will stand up and take over. Once again, we've seen this over and over and over. Ancient Greece, they started as a republic, turned into a democracy, then the tyrant took over. Look at ancient Rome. You've never seen the movie Gladiator. It's an amazing movie, wonderful movie, because it talks about how the leader, the Caesar, the person in charge of Rome, was saying, look, I want to take it back to its former glory. I want Rome to go back to a republic. And his son murdered him because he didn't want a republic. He wanted a democracy, and the son became a tyrant. And so we see this cycle over and over and over. So there is a difference between a republic and a democracy. And it's a big difference. One of the greatest books that can tell you the difference about it is this book by N.E.W. called Demonic. Amazing book. I enjoyed reading this. Ann Coulter wrote this book and shows how democracy is really mob rule. Because when you're in charge and you're the head of the government and you get away from laws governing, you can sway public opinion so that people will vote a certain way, not knowing that what they're voting for will end up biting them in the butt in the end.
Notice Biden has the blue, which blue, when you deal with color psychology, deals with trust. Okay? And people have trusted him, and look what it's ended in already. Now the elites control both spectrums. But what they've done is they've gotten people to fight against their own freedoms by what? Accepting these false agendas that really is their demise. All of this fear, all of this, all of that, we need to do this, we need to do that. And now people are fighting for the agenda to be set, which really they don't understand. They're fighting against their own freedoms and freedom of speech. And this is how Revelation breaks it down. Okay? That's why I believe the chip and everything that we're seeing will be issued forth from a Democrat rule. This could very well be the end. Although the elite are the ones who control it, they're doing it through the guise of democracy.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 33. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another lesson, another video through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'asham. Yahweh Shai, so first and foremost, Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakaha Kwadash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites who may look like the other nations, but are Israel through their fatherly lineage. And shalom unto the very few but faithful Aquatium, which is the sisters. The name of this lesson is Democracy and its ties to the New World Order. Alright? Democracy and its ties to the New World Order. Now, as you could see there in the video that I had just played, alright, before I come in here now to the scriptures and what have you, the individual, alright, along with Elder Yashawamba, alright, they give their piece, their 2 cents, alright, concerning the difference between, and I wouldn't say their piece or their 2 cents, they actually broke it down. They broke it down as plain and as simple as can be. And Elder Yashawamba, you know, he just taken the gravy or taken the sauce, as they would say, all right, into showing you where this whole thing called democracy, where it really leading you into, all right. And The individual before Elijah Shawamba, he break it down and show the total difference. All right, where republic, being a republic, is going by a constitution, living by a constitution. All right, and you know, going by the laws that was set by the constitution. Whereas on the other hand, democracy is something totally different. To put it all in a nutshell, democracy, all right, is mob rule, tyrannical rule, all right, which overrides your republican constitution. All right, democracy goes by its own rules that is in total opposition to your constitution. Now, this is the thing here. You may ask the young brothers and sisters, you know, especially young brothers and sisters who now coming into the truth that is in a professional lifestyle. When I say a professional lifestyle, because this truth here, all right, the ones who waking up to the truth is not just the man or the woman who in the ghetto, you know, and you know the you know what I mean, all right. There is those who is waking up in the truth, who is living a professional lifestyle that, like let me say, you know, they maybe have they may be working around the political arena. They may be not full-fledged politicians, so to speak, but you know, they're working around politicians, or they may be coming from the financial sector, you know, some, you know, the business sector, what have you, and you know, those are the ones, you know, those are the ones, you know, who been in the system. Those are the ones who are in the system and has been, how would I put it, has been fooled by the system, for lack of better terms or lack of better words to say. All right. But you know, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, they're waking up to the truth. All right, they're waking up to the truth and seeing the truth for what the truth is. All right, and they might ask, you know, how is democracy leading you to the New World Order? Because again, you have to understand. Take for instance Trinidad and Tobago. All right, we had gained independence, and then we became a republic by going by our own set of rules and whatnot, so forth. We came off of the breast, so to speak, all right, off of the monarchy, which was the English throne, all right. So the thing about it is now, although we consider ourselves the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, all right, we tend we tend to follow, all right, because we drink the wine of the beast, so we tend to follow a law of democracy. All right. Now, as the guy just explained, all right, pursuant to democracy, it overrides the constitution. So it being so with the constitution now being override, all right, and the powers that be, all right, they are the ones that are in control. They override and they doing their own thing, all right, and making laws as they go along to go against the constitution, all right. By them doing that, it put things now in their perspective and provisions, all right. Democracy is really making the democracy now. The democracy status is actually making provisions, all right, in order for them to gain what they really want to achieve, which is the New World Order. all right, because they already have they already, all right, fool the people, fool the masses, all right, by the way of democracy, by, by voting and these things, putting situations, to putting false situations to say that to fool the people that the security and whatnot so forth is being jeopardized, it is being threatened, and what have you, all right, and we need things to be put in place in order to we need things to be put in place in order to protect ourselves, to protect the people, to protect the masses, which is actually a lie. So what they will do is what? Is have something called an election, a vote, on every law. All right? But the thing about it is the voting, where the law is concerned, is not being carried out by the people itself. It is being carried out by the powers that be. All right? Your elites, your business community, your bigwigs in the business community, and what have you. All right? They draft up the laws and all these things and send it to the politicians. And the politicians, they vote. They have a so-called vote, but really and truly, all of the politicians, all right, they are in cahoots with the elites that be. Because it's the elites that really running the show, and it's the elites that really pushing, the elites that be is really pushing the head of democracy. All right. So democracy, it is by what I'm showing you here. By these moves, it paves the way. It paves the way for. It paves the way for the coming in and the acceptance of the new world order. All right, that's why I will read over the scripture again, and then I was going to go to Micah 2 and 11. Sirach 11 and 33. Take heed of a mischievous man. You see, because the mischievous man, again, he is put by the way of democracy. All right, by the way of democracy, he has, by the way of democracy, he is fooling the people. All right, he's fooling the people. All right, by the way of witchcraft, because democracy is really witchcraft, heavy witchcraft. All right, they use witchcraft in order for their democracy to stand strong. Okay, and who is doing that? The mischievous man, which is Esau Edom. So take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot. And what is that perpetual blot? That perpetual blot is the crown jewel, which is that C-hip. All right? That C-hip, that M-O-T-B. All right? That technological advancement that they want to implant within your hand or your forehead. All right? That's why, to go with this scripture, the Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. All right? It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Yeah? Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. All right? And that iniquitous work that devising upon their beds is the wrong table. As I just always break it down to you all. All right, this goes into the wrong table. All right, the meetings, the big meetings, and all these things. All right, because take a look, watch at it. Because of democracy, look at it. Because of democracy, all right. Look at how democracy. Look what democracy has led us to now, especially with this scripture here. All right. When I say when it talks about when they work evil upon their beds, take for example the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum, all right, which is actually spearheading this new world order, all right. The World Economic Forum all right, is actually taking over all these governments, all right, because again, democracy overrides the constitution, all right, and the World Economic Forum, they are the ones that is controlling these governments and what have you, and pushing these governments, all right, by the way of democracy, pushing these governments, all right, to steer away from their constitution and what have you, all right, and implement new laws, new measures, new decrees, all right, away from what the people are supposed to stand by and live by and what have you, all right, and let's go to this year now. So the new laws, all right, the new policies, the new decrees, and what have you, all right, is for a new vision, all right, a reset of everything, all right, that is literally leading to what they want to achieve, which is the new world order. All because of democracy. All because of democracy. All right? Woe to them that devise iniquity upon their beds, and when the morning is light, when the time is right, they practice it. All right? Because it is in the power of their hands. All right? Because it is in the power of their hands. They are in the power seat. They are the ones that are in control. The elites and the politicians and what have you. All right? So they put it into practice. They actually do it. All right? Because why? Because of democracy. All right? Verse 2. Watch this. And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses. Because this is what this whole, as the man just explained, all right? As the man just explained, all right? With democracy is where you get your tyrannical rule, and it paves the way for genocide and mass murder and what have you, all right? Because democracy, it infringes on the people's rights. Yeah? Democracy infringes on the people's rights, the people's sovereignty. All right? Because what is your sovereignty? Your constitution. All right? Let me see if I can get that word bear with me, Baba Kusha. All right? So it says sovereignty. All right? It reads supreme power or authority, jurisdiction, supremacy, dominion, power. All right? So this is what democracy does. It takes away your jurisdiction, all right? Your whole judiciary on the supreme and on the executive and supreme level and what have you, all right? Dominion, power, ascendancy, all right? All right? Predominance, authority, control, all right? This is what sovereignty is, all right? And it takes away, when democracy comes to play, all right, it brings about tyranny, all right. It goes against the people. It goes against the people's, way of life and what have you by the way of the constitution. So what it does, it end up bringing death. All right, death and hell is end up following right just after democracy. All right, because with democracy, tyrannical rule is end up being end all be all of it. Alright? Tyrannical rulers end up being the end all be all for it. And then now, in order for you to have that tyrannical rule and that iron fist, alright, and rule by that iron fist, alright, he is going to have to quell dissent by the way of putting people to death. Alright? So it says, and they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses, and they take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. This is what democracy does. Democracy is something that is very oppressive. Alright? Democracy is something that is very oppressive. Because look at what they are doing right now by the way of democracy. By the way of democracy, they're taking away the people's spending power. Alright? By the way of democracy, they want to implement a whole new financial structure. Alright? And a whole new way of life. Yeah, you being hooked up. You being hooked up to the hive. Alright, by the way of the internet. And what have you. Alright? And worshipping this whole beast system that they're implementing, all right, all because of what? Democracy. All because of democracy. Yeah? And what they are doing, they are leading the whole world, because if I notice, when I check it out, all right, the whole world is under a democratic state or a democratic way of life. All right, the whole world, and it's actually been pushed by who? It's actually been pushed by who? By Babylon the Great, which is what? Which is America. All right, the whole world. Yeah, this is where it is. Actually being pushed by who? By the so-called white man. Yeah. So let's take a look at Habakkuk 2. Let's take a look at Habakkuk chapter 2. And I will start at what? Verse 4. Habakkuk 2 and 4, it reads, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Who is his? Who is that his soul? Speaking about Esau, Edom. Yeah, it's speaking about Esau, Edom. Alright? Who is the just? Yasharallah, the children of Israel, the elect mainly. Alright? It says, Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. And where's that wine? Democracy. Because he transgressed by wine, and he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarging it his desire as hell, and is as death. Alright? Because he goes all over the world, alright, as prophesied in the scriptures, as prophesied, like for instance, Revelation 17, and what have you, which we're going to go into in a bit. Alright? They go all over the world with their philosophies. Alright? And their main thing with their main philosophy is what? Is democracy. Alright? So it says, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Because this is what democracy brings. It brings death and hell. Because remember, you're infringing on people's rights. Alright? And the people is not going to go for it. So he is going to have a case of dissent taking place amongst the people. And in order for you to quell that dissent, he is going to have to reign death and hell. Because remember, you want your democracy to prevail. Alright? You want your democracy to prevail. Take a look. Take, for instance, Iraq. Libya, Syria. Yeah? Take for instance certain other African countries and what have you. Yeah? What do they all have in common with the destruction of these said countries that I just called? Why were they destroyed? Because these countries was going out was after autocracy, it is called it. Alright, autocracy rule, which was followed by the constitution. Alright? But Esau Edom, what he do? He slander and demonize, alright, the leaders of said nations and what have you, alright, to bring about his democracy, alright, his deceit of democracy, alright, so that he could set up his puppet leaders to really, so that his leaders could help facilitate their true agenda. Alright? Days where it is. Alright? And so it says here, and he cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Alright? Days where it is. Because when you go to, let's take a look at because this is nothing new. Let's go to the no, not second. First Maccabees 1:41, where it reads, this is going into this wicked root Antiochus, this is the name Epiphanes. Alright? Take a look at this for example. Now watch this. First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus ruled his whole kingdom. Alright, ruled his whole kingdom, that all should be one people. And it's the same thing. Because under democracy, alright, under democracy, when what they want to gather the whole people under by the way of democracy, alright, which in turn is going to evolve into actual communism, alright, by they having the whole world under democracy, alright, is they having the people, they having the people now straying away from their constitution. So now it makes it way much more easier, alright, way much more easier to control the people, alright, to follow their agendas, which is actually the New World Order. Yeah? So it says, moreover, Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws, leave his constitution. And it's the same thing what is taking place today, alright, being orchestrated by who? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Alright? With who? With America leading the way. Alright? Babylon the Great. Alright? That everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah? Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Alright? Many also of the Israelites, because look at it today. It's the same thing today. Alright? Our people follow after this demon and his policies by the way of democracy. Alright? They forget about their laws, statutes and commandments. They forget about the Most High God. Alright? And go after democracy. They forget about their standards. So now by the way of democracy, where anything goes, because democracy allows for anything. Democracy allows for do as thou wilt. Alright? And A lot of the Israel, look, take a look at our people. Take a look at our people. Take a look at our people when elections come about. All right, the frenzy that they be in. All right, and the deceptions that goes about, and they accept. All right, because where's the main banner? Where's the main banner towards democracy? Where's the main banner towards election selectors? Democracy. Let democracy prevail and whatnot, so forth, so forth. You understand where I'm coming from? There's where it is. There's where it is. Yeah? Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, which is actually democracy, and sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. Alright? For he had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws. Why is these laws strange? Because it is not going against, it is not going along, it is not going with your constitution. It's not going in line with your constitution. So it becomes strange. Alright? And it's the same thing here now. Because they are spreading their wine, their philosophy, alright? And they are accepting strange laws, laws that is newly made up, newly decreed. Alright? That goes against your constitution. Now, we reach a time now, we reach such an advanced stage of democracy that now the laws that is being implemented now is becoming more and more and more stringent. Alright? It's becoming more and more stringent because now, because of democracy, alright, because of democracy, which goes against your Republicans, your laws, your constitution, alright, you end up having laws, you end up having draconian laws, draconian measured laws, alright, by the way of executive orders. Yeah? By the way of executive orders, presidential executive orders and all these things. Yeah? That's why when I go to Isaiah 10 and 1, where it reads, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Why are they doing this? Because of democracy. So now by their decreeing these unrighteous decrees, all right, and making it as new laws, strange laws and what have you, all right, these laws, these new laws, it is actually paving the way for the new world order. These new laws is not for your beneficial. All right, these new laws that is being made up is not for your beneficial. Yeah, best believe that. It's not for your beneficial. All right, these new laws is actually for the elite's benefit. All right, because the elites have an agenda. Yeah, the elites have an agenda, and you are not on the good part of the receiving end of the agenda. All right, the agenda is to take away all your rights, all your sovereignties because of democracy. All right, because they are the ones that will cause. Because remember, all right, a main part of the bringing about the new laws and the executive orders and what have you is under the guise that your security is being threatened. So they will bring forth false flags and events, false flags events and all these things, what have you, all right, to have you in a frightened state, yeah, to have you in a frightened state. All right, they will cause the chaos and then come with the solution. All right, and mainly the solution is for you to give away your rights, sign over your rights. All right. So when now they're ready to clamp down upon you, you cannot do shit because why? You guys had already supported the wicked decrees, all right? Because why? You accepted democracy, all right? Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right, from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. This is what it is all about. Because of democracy, you have a fiat currency system now, all right? And it is going to change into digital, all because of democracy. All because of democracy, all right? And from digital is going to what? A C-HIP, right? From digital is going to be a C-HIP into you, all right? Because it is not just only going to be your bank statement and your medical, this and that and the other. It's also what? A tracker, all right? And it's going to make serious scenarios that the people is going to beg for it, all right? Under the guise that, they want safety. Yeah? There is where it is. There is where it is. All right? Democracy is all about overriding the system that was set from the beginning. All right? For them to bring about a new system that they will have full control of. All right? Where the people will have no say. All right? There is what it is about. When it go to let's take a look at Daniel 7.
Hey, what happened? What happened? You come home?
All right, let's take a look at Daniel 7 and 25. All right, so Daniel 7 and 25. All right, this is what the democracy does. All right, Daniel 7 and 25. It reads, "And he shall speak great words against the Most-High," all right, against the Most-High, "and shall wear out the saints of the Most-High." All right, and this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing right now, right? Because of the way of democracy, because you see now with democracy, again, as it goes against the laws and what have you, all right, we ourselves cannot keep our constitution. When I say we ourselves, I'm speaking about us Israelites. We cannot keep our constitution the way we're supposed to keep it. All right? Because we have been scattered through the four corners of the earth amongst these heathens who all have drunken the wine of Babylon the Great. All right? So they all under a what? We all under a democratic system. All right? And they're speaking against the Most High, especially now. They're speaking more and more against the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, all right, because they are in control, all right, and they're going against the true constitution, which is the first 5 books of Moses. And it really wasn't given to the whole world, it was given to us, the children of Israel, all right, but the first 5 books of Moses is actually still a moral standard that the world, that we was to carry out and the world to emulate. All right, but these people are in power, and the thing about it is they hate the Most High God. All right, they have total hatred for Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. All right, so what they will do? What they will do? They come about with a whole system. Yeah, they come about with a whole system. All right, that is going to evolve even more as we go along. All right, that is literally against the Most High. So, all right, so it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. This is what democracy does. All right, times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time and times and the dividing of times. All right, this is what it does: change times and laws. So now, now it leading by they doing that, it leading all the way to, let's go to Revelation 13. It's leading all the way to Revelation 13. Revelation 13. All right, I must see verse. I don't want to go to verse 3. I'll start from verse 11. Revelation 13 and 11. It reads, and I behold another beast coming out of the earth. All right. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, which goes into the two-party system. All right, the Republicans and the Democrats. All right, again, the two horns like a lamb. All right, that facade of a caring, gentle, political system that they for the people. All right, by the way of the disguise of democracy. Yeah, by the guise of democracy. All right, but when you see you speak as a dragon, in time to come, you will really get to see what democracy is all about, which is really and truly tyrannical rule, communism, socialism. All right, democracy is actually a disguise for communism. All right, there's where it is. There's where it is. Because look at it. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, watch out the hypocrisy. Watch out the hypocrisy of Esau Edom. All right, the West, Babylon the Great and what have you, and NATO and what have you. All right, America went to war against North Korea and Vietnam. All right, under the guise that they are fighting communism. All right, that the people should have democracy. All right, they should have a right to choose who they want to choose, and this and that and the other and the other and the other. But here you have now in this 2023, where they're actually showing the horns in which in the true agenda, which is the New World Order. When you do your research on it and you go through this whole thing with a fine-teeth comb, you would see that it's actually communism that they're looking to head the whole world into. But you see, they was fighting off these nations, North Korea, Vietnam, and what have you, because Vietnam's still communist, all right, and what have you, all right, because actually is really they wanted control of the people, all right, by the way of the central bank. That is what it really was about. Getting control of these nations' central banks and what have you, to have control over the people. Democracy. So it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth. And that first beast was the ancient Roman Empire. All right, so he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. All right, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right, worship the ways and whatnot, and all the policies and whatnot of the first beast, which was the ancient Roman Empire. All right, whose deadly wound was healed. How it was healed? They came back. They came back. All right, via the Renaissance. All right, and they evolved. They evolved now into this new and revised Roman Empire. All right, with America seated at its head. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceive them, Salakia, that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had a deadly wound by the sword and did live. And right, and he gave life, Salakia, and he gave power, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. All right, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. All right, and that image is the systems, that image is the laws and what have you. All right, that image is the system. All right, that image is the laws that uphold the system. All right, and the main driving force behind it is democracy. That is the main driving force behind it. All right, and that and that the image of the beast should both speak. All right, the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And we see what is take. We see we see here now, because by democracy, you're seeing what's going on right now with the way of the New World Order being implemented and what have you. All right, and we're seeing that there are people literally seeing that their rights are being infringed. All right, and you're having a case of dissent, a lot of dissent taking place. So what you really think is going to take place? Not mass genocide, because the people seeing that their rights are being infringed, they're seeing that the sovereignty is being taken away. All right, and they are speaking up and speaking out. All right, and they are seeing that these people are in their way. All right, so there's laws now that is going to be passed, because that's what democracy is. because the people now under democracy, all right, because the people are living under democracy, there's laws now that is going to be passed. Yeah, there's laws now that is going to be passed that is going to hey, when I tell you this man is the border of wickedness, boy. The border of wickedness. There's laws that's going to be passed that is going to what? That is going to be decreed that anybody who goes against the policies of this new world order, all right, this communism in the guise of democracy, because democracy goes against the constitution, and the people are seeing it. The people are seeing it. This is how democracy is literally leading you into the new world order. This is how democracy is actually tied to the new world order. This is how democracy is tied to the new world order. So that's why when I go to the scripture here, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. When I go to second Esdras 15, and I think it's 16. Yes, second Esdras 15, 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the cause of their action shall stand in their power. All right. Days where now it is going to reach the height of class wars and what have you. Not only racial wars but class wars. All right, because the powers that be, they literally eliminating the middle class and the upper middle class. All right, and putting a wedge, all right, and bringing it down to just what the rich, the elites, and the poor. All right, all because of the democracy. All right, all because of democracy, because people's rights has been totally taken away. No more jobs, no more spending power. All right, everybody lost everything. All right, the motto of the World Economic Forum? You shall own nothing and be happy. All right, but you have to understand that everybody is going to go for that. Not everybody want to fall under that banner, because they are seeing, all right, that they are literally going into a new form of slavery that is on steroids. All right. So when you go back to the Revelation 13 and 15, where it reads, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. These laws and what have you, which goes back to Isaiah 10 and 1 going on to verse 2 and what have you, these laws is going to be implemented against people like us, the Hebrew Israelites, all right, and the people that is outside of the nation of Israel that is not for this tyrannical rule, this systematical tyrannical rule. All right? So there is going to be mass death. And Esau, Edom will stop at nothing. He will stop at nothing. He will stop at nothing. That's why when I go back, let me go back to the Apocrypha. Oh Lord, where's our scripture, boys? It's 14. So I think it's Sirach 14 and 5. Sirach 14 and I think 5. Yeah, Sirach 14 and 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? All right? Because he will stop at nothing. He don't care. Even if he had to put his own people to death, he don't care. He means that every single man jack must fall in line. Every single man jack must fall in line. He that is evil to himself, whom will he be good? Yeah? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. Yeah, he shall not take pleasure in his goods. Because when you go to Job, I will come back to this. When I go to Job, he shall not take pleasure in his goods, right? Job 5 and 12. Alright? The Lord says what? He disappointed the devices. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Alright? Because the Lord is going to put a spoke in their wheel. What is their enterprise? Their enterprise, right, is their new world order. That is their enterprise, the new world order. All right? The new world order, where now there's disband what, because once they get, watch and they go see something. Once they get the new world order, there's going to disband the philosophy of democracy. All right, democracy wouldn't really have no force again because they already got the people under its tyrannical communist rule. All right, democracy will be of no more force and really too much to say. All right, because they already use the democracy philosophy to get them where they want to get. Now they have reached. This is the point here now. No, when they reach the point, all right, they wouldn't need they wouldn't have to use the guise of democracy anymore because they have achieved their agenda. All right, what's it? I've come with oh gosh, it's on the dollar bill. With the apostles them that's always bring it out in it with the agenda. It crown with success or something like that. So the apostles them that's always bring it out. All right, it's on the dollar, the US dollar, you know. So they wouldn't need democracy anymore because they already have the people where they want them. All right, because that is the enterprise. That is the enterprise. You understand? They wouldn't need that. I want to go back now. Let's go back. Let's take a look back at Isaiah 10, but verse 12. Isaiah 10 and 12, where it reads, "Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks." All right, so it says, "I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it." Yeah, I have done it. I have achieved my agenda. All right, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. Yeah, this is them here. This is Esau Edom here. All right, and how they have been able to achieve all these things. All right, how they have been able to achieve all these things, be dominant in the financial system, control the whole world, the oil industry, the food industry, the food chain supply, all these things, the shipping industry, all right. How they have been able to control all these things, the precious metals, what do they call it again, the natural resources of the world. All right, by the way of war, by the way of waging war, all right, and the driving force of those wars, all right, was what was democracy. All right, so it says all right, and verse 14, "And my hand hath found as in nest the riches of the people, and as one gathered with eggs that are left, I have gathered all the earth." All right, I have gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. Yeah, here's where it is. All right, I have gathered all the earth. All right, and a main way of them doing that, again, as I say, by waging war and whatnot, so forth, and they're putting up the puppet leaders. All right. See what they do with Iraq. See what they do with Afghanistan before the Taliban come and take over the situation that had run out. All right. All these leaders of Afghanistan that was before that they had put in before they had left and the Taliban come and take over, they were puppets. All right, they were puppets. All right, all these leaders in all these countries where they waged the war and what have you. All right, and under the guise of democracy and what have you, so forth. All of them that they put in after what is puppets, all right, to carry out their democratic agenda. All of them, all of them. That's why when you go to that's how they've been able to achieve so much in such little time. All right. When you go to I'll come back to the scripture here. All right. Let me just read verse 14. And then I will go to a particular scripture. Two scriptures where it reads, verse 14, and my hand hath found as the nest the riches of the people, and as one that gathered eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. All right? Or peeped. Because, it's prophesied, that they will, when they come back, they will go into great destruction. All right? They will bring great destruction upon the face of the earth. All right? They will come back with full force. And they did. That's why when in Revelation 13:4, where they say, who could make war with the beast? The people marvel at the beast, roughly paraphrasing. All right? So they wage all their war and whatnot under the guise of democracy and set up the puppet leaders. All right? And the puppet leaders sell out the people. Right? The puppet, because of democracy. See where it's going. The puppet leaders now sell out the people. So by the puppet leaders now sell out the people and tend to go to democracy and go against the constitution and implement new laws and all these things that has been brought up by the elites for them to pass and what have you, to sell out the sovereignty of the people. All right, it paves the way now for the new world order to go without being stopped. You understand where I'm coming from? That's why when I go to Proverbs 29 and 12, what it reads, Proverbs 29 and 12, it reads, if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. All right, if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. All right. Which is the cabinet and all of that, all right, and also the supporters, all right, because don't get it twisted. All these politicians, both leaders, both the ruling and the opposition, they are all for the agenda of the elites. Yeah, they are all for the agenda of the elites. Don't get it twisted. All right, when I go to Sirach 10, and I will start at verse 1. Sirach 10 and 1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. All right? A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, all right, which is his cabinet. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. All right? Wait, boy. All right? So lucky about that. This is so I'll continue going on to verse 3 now. All right? Sirach 10 and 3, where it reads, an unwise king destroyed his people. All right? An unwise king. Why he destroyed his people? Because he's all about greed. All right? He's all about greed. All right? He sold out his people. All right? He sold out his people. All right? And put the people now under due distress. All right? So now they are the mercy of the elites, and the thing about it is Esau has no mercy. Esau shows no mercy. All right? So it says, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be what? The city shall be inhabited. All right? Because when you go to Proverbs is 24. Let's take a look at Proverbs 24 and 1. Proverbs 24 and 1. It reads, "Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them." Yeah, neither desire to be with them, to be in league with them, evil men. All right. But you see, the thing is, go back to First Maccabees 1 and 11. First Maccabees 1 and 11. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. First Maccabees 1, verse 11. Yeah, in those days, First Maccabees 1:11, in those days when they are out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow." All right. So you have your sellout puppet leaders who envy us who envy us are the elites. All right, and seeing how the elites, all right, waxing fat in riches, they want to emulate also. So what they will do, they will make league with these elites and fall under the banner of democracy. All right, fall under the banner of democracy and pave the way for their people, all right, to fall into that trap of the New World Order. So when I go back to the Proverbs 24 and 1, "Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them, for their heart studieth destruction." Their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk mischief. What I remind you, let's stay right back in Proverbs. This remind me of this here, Proverbs 4 and 16. All right? A matter of fact, I will start from 14. Proverbs 4 and 14. "Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not into the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, pass away. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For what? For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence." All right? And when you tend to go that way, you yourself wouldn't have no remorse, all right, for what the conditions you're literally bringing your people under. Because again, with democracy, right behind follow death and hell. Yeah? Right behind follows death and hell. So envy not the way. These people waxing in riches and they still want more. Yeah? They still want more. They can never be satisfied. Here it is they're about to achieve the greatest feat ever achieved by man, which is the New World Order, having the whole world under their feet. All right? And still, that wouldn't satisfy them. Still, that wouldn't satisfy them. You see how it goes? Yeah? There's how it goes. Hey, boy. Hey. Let's take a look at Sirach 11. Sirach 11:16. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Sirach 11 and 16. It reads, "Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein." All right? Because they glorified in wickedness. All right? And this is what they come upon the face of the earth to do. All right? This is what Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness, the daughter of Babylon. This is what they came upon the face of the earth to do. Yeah? This is what they come to achieve here. This is what they come to achieve here. Yeah? All right, and the thing about it is they are being fined out. They are being they being they are being caught in their steps. All right, they are being caught in their steps. One more. I was going on read the. I wanted us to go through the Revelation 17 in about. I done I done an hour 15 in this year. You know, I don't want to make this too long and weary, so I will just read one more scripture, which is Isaiah, Salakia, Isaiah. I don't want to go so far. Isaiah 32 and 5. It reads, the vile person, Isaiah 32 and 5, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the child said to be bountiful. Alright? For the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. And this is what I said earlier on, you know. This is the true hypocrisy. Here it is, you back in the 50s, 60s. Alright, fighting against North Korea and Vietnam and what have you, so forth. You know, the North Vietnamese and whatnot. Alright? Say you're fighting against communism, that democracy shall reign upon the whole earth and this and that and the other. Alright? But here you have it now, where when you analyze the whole stench and see what your New World Order is about. Your New World Order is about the same communistic rule. The same communistic rule that you was lying to the people that you're fighting against. This is just to show you the hypocrisy of Esau. Alright? But again, democracy is just a guise for communism. Alright? For the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, and to make empty the soul of the hungry, and will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments of the churl are evil. The democracy, it is evil. It is evil. What are the things you could do under democracy? All right. What are the things you could do under democracy? Take a look. The alphabet lifestyle, the witchcraft, yeah, the fiat currency, yeah, to the point now where they're looking to put a C-hip into every man, woman, child, all right, upon the face of the earth. Have you connected to the Internet of Things, Internet of Bodies, Internet of Value? Yeah. So the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. The democracy, even when the needy speak it right. Yeah? But the liberal devised liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Rise up ye, Salakia, and that is where it is here. Salakia, verse 8, and I will look at that. I will lock it off at that. I hope you was edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and understand what we really heading into. Alright? So with that, Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakaha Kodash. Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone at well. Peace, blessings, salutations unto the brothers who preaching, teaching the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwatium, your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp, signing out saying shalom W.O.R.D.E.R.